Hello and welcome to my presentation for this week. We're discussing the United States Department of Education as a federal program, and we're looking to examine what the people think, whether this agency should be expanded in its scope or decreased in its scope, should be handled more at the state or local level, or what they feel the right answer for them is. You see, Lowy made the argument that government essentially is too big. So there are those on the one side who agree with Lowy that there's too much power given to the federal government and it needs to go to the people at the local level, as Rivlin would suggest. Now, those surveyed, none seem to be of the opinion of the market model that Rivlin showed us, but they were definitely for decentralization and or community control of some level. There were varied responses, whether it needs to be completely at the local level, which would be county or even community, of those surveyed, and some at the state level, but most people that agreed to have it decentralized were more for the community control model. They wanted more control over the education and how our students should be learning, and many of them had many reasons why or why not. Some ranging from purely political, not wanting, government's too big and not wanting the government to have so much control and so much power, to the other end saying our education system is amiss and something needs to be done. If we take it to the community level, all the way to all the way to the local community level, even, it gives us greater control over what we're teaching our students, that in turn we would have better educated students and better results. Although across the board all seem to be for getting rid of standardized testing altogether, which is a big role and factor in having state control. And then on the other end, we do have those that still maintain, hey, the federal government still needs to have control or have a say anyway, that it's too big or too important for individual states or communities to deal with on their own. And more importantly, that there needs to be standardized education across the board. So even if you go from Riverside County to San Bernardino County, or from California to Arizona to New York, the education standards across the country should be the same. They should be standardized. And the only way to truly do that is if the federal government is involved in some way. Now, even those who responded that there needs to be some state involvement, or some federal involvement at some level, they don't agree with the layer cake, as Grudson's example, the layered cake theory. They don't agree with that form of federalism. They're more of the idea of the marble cake federalism. There's got to be some give and take. The state should have some say, but ultimately the federal government needs to tell everybody what to do when it comes to education. Now, ultimately, my conclusion, calling it a wicked problem may be a bit of an extreme, but what I found is that ultimately there is no right or wrong answer, which is why I'm saying wicked problem in this case, because if you give all the power to the states, they have too much power, too much control, and the needs of the varying communities and varying states are so diversified and so different. Yet at the same time, if you leave everything with the control at the local level, is that giving the local level too much control, and how does that help the community next door, the state next door? Again, you get away from that, having that standardized education standards for everybody across the board. That's all I got for this week, and thank you for watching.